Welcome to JBSports. I'm your host, Jonathan Burton, and today we are getting into the NBA signings and sign trades, NFL a little bit, and then my opinions on the u20 tackle football team for the USA. But first, like I said, we're going to get into the NBA. One of the biggest things is Jason Tatum. He has the biggest contract of all time now. 5 years, $314 million contract. They just won a championship. Jason Tatum was one of the key players. He, I think, led the team in almost every stats in the finals. So he's a big piece for your team. So you don't want to lose him. He's gonna be the star, one of the stars in the NBA for a while now. So you don't want to lose him. That's a lot of money. That's more than Jaylen Brown got, which shouldn't cause too much of a rift because Jaylen Brown got a lot too. So I don't think that'll cause any issues. It's just you're paying them a lot, especially with Derek White getting his contract. You're paying a lot of people a lot of money. So, and the Boston Celtics are their ownership team is about to try to sell it. So we'll see what happens there. Next signing I want to talk about is Klay Thompson. 3 years, $50 million for the Mavs. He didn't have the best ending to the Warriors with his Warriors career. Everybody knows he went, I think, what was it, 0 for 11, 0 for 10, one of the two. That's one of the most annoying things on Instagram right now. Like when you open the app, if it's any sports thing, you just see that. But not a good way to end the Warriors' career. He's hoping he can still be good on the Mavericks because I think he is an essential piece of the Mavericks. Just because they need that third person who can really score once one of the stars is like not doing too hard. Because in the playoffs, in my opinion, with Kyrie and Luka was always on his game, but a lot of times Kyrie wasn't, and there wasn't really that secondary scorer to help with that. So Klay Thompson can definitely be that player. He took a pay cut compared to what other teams were offering him. So he really thinks this Mavericks team can win for him, which honestly, Luka, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Derek Lively, you hear some of those names, you're like, that's a pretty solid team. I think they just need to up their bench a little bit more, and they will be pretty solid and maybe have a chance of winning. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat the Celtics because the Celtics aren't losing anyone, and they're just bringing back their team. So the Celtics are still going to be really good, and Celtics are going to be the team to beat next year, in my opinion. But, we'll see how the Nuggets do, and we'll see how the Mavs, they're getting better. Warriors, we'll talk about that in a minute. Next one, probably one of the biggest ones out of all of them. Paul George, 4-year, $212 million to the 76ers. This is huge for the 76ers. This is huge. I'm one of the people that believe that drafting people in is a better way and leads to more success with championships because I said it before. A lot of the teams that you see win championships were drafted in there. You saw the Celtics, they drafted a lot of those people into the team. The two biggest stars they drafted in. You have the Nuggets from last year. Most of their players were drafted in, Nikola Jokic, Murray, Porter. Most of these teams that win are drafted. Even the Warriors, they had KD, but they drafted Looney, they drafted Curry, they drafted Clay. Most of these teams, most of the success is from drafting. So with the 76ers, I guess it is, because, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, they finally got rid of the really sore player on the roster. Tobias Harris was not helping them anymore. You see the famous clip, Jimmy Butler saying you chose Tobias Harris over me. He was not helping them whatsoever. So it's really good for them to get him out and to get Maxey on a long deal and then get Paul George on top of that, which Paul George is still playing very well. That's one of those teams up there that's going to be hard to beat because if Joel Embiid can stay healthy, they got 3 prolific scorers. They're going to be really good. He got pretty good money. I mean, $212 million is really good for Paul George, especially with like the roster, like how many players they have to pay. Getting rid of Tobias Harris helped out a lot. But yeah, that's 76ers are looking very scary in my opinion. He just got so many good players. Maxey, he's one of the future players in the NBA. Joel Embiid, amazing when he's not injured. MVP level when he's not injured. Paul George, really good. Hasn't really found that groove. I mean, he can play well, but he hasn't found that team to groove with. The Clippers was a failure. The Celtics were a failure. Pacers, he started there, didn't end well. So, like, maybe this will be his team where he gets his groove with his teammates. Next player, Chris Paul. 1 year, $11 million to Spurs. Chris Paul is there to be the veteran, and the amount of assists that man will have to Wemby is going to be astronomical. You're just going to see lob after lob, pass after pass, just straight to Wemby. They need to pass the ball to Wemby, and now that they have someone to do that, Wemby's going to have so many more. He's going to play so much better because he has an actual like point guard. Like, you think some of the best point guards of all time. Chris Paul is in that level. Like, he is one of those players. So it's really good for them to have Chris Paul because he can facilitate the floor. He can be a general. Like you saw for the Thunder, it helped them a lot. Warriors, not really. It didn't help the Warriors too much. I don't think Chris Paul had a good year at all last year. So we'll see how he plays for the Spurs. I think he'll help a lot. He's starting to get that jersey tally up. I saw some graphics with him and Shaq where Shaq has the rainbow jersey combination now. Chris Paul has about the same. So NFL. One more. Talking about the Warriors. People are saying it's a Splash Brothers 2.0. I get what they're saying, but I wouldn't like put this guy up with Klay Thompson. Buddy Hield, 2 year, $21 million to the Warriors. You let a scorer go, you have to bring in a scorer because the Warriors, the dynasty, it's over. They've lost most of their key players. Jordan Poole, they let him go. They let Klay Thompson go because he didn't want to be there anymore. So they're losing their like people who were really part of the dynasty. So only one left is Steph Curry. Steph Curry needs another scorer with him. Buddy Hield and Steph Curry are the two players with the most 3-point makes in the last few years. Buddy Hield's number 1, Steph Curry's number 2, which is kind of crazy. But, I mean, it's good for Buddy. It's good for the Warriors to have a scorer like that. He can shoot a lot of threes. Steph Curry shoots a lot of threes. Maybe gets, like, some screens around. Buddy Hield could help them a lot. They need that secondary scorer, which Klay was not last year, but like a few years later. Because Buddy Hield's still pretty good. I think he can be good for them. So, best move out of these 5. I mean, Jason Tatum didn't move. He just signed like the biggest contract of all time. That's why I want to talk about it. But that's crazy in itself. But out of the other 4, I think Paul George might be the biggest just because like the 76ers haven't had like that second big star. I mean, they had Jimmy, but I feel like Jimmy wasn't in that like big star role yet. He wasn't in that big star role yet because he just came off of like the Timberwolves. He wanted to be the big one there, and he wasn't. Like Jimmy Butler's amazing. The Heat was like the perfect place for him to like start flourishing, but you start to flourish when he got to the 76ers. It just didn't work out. So I think Paul George, since Jimmy Butler is that second big player they needed, because Ben Simmons, no, he's terrible. He became garbage so quick after that one pass in the playoffs. So, like, Paul George is that second player they really need. Then I'd go Klay Thompson to the Mavs, second best. He really will help with scoring-wise. He won't be bad on defense. He's not an amazing defender, but he won't be bad. 3 years, $50 million, that's a good paycheck for him. That's a good pay for the Mavs to get him to maybe get some more people. So I think that'll work well. And then Buddy Hield and Chris Paul, I mean, they're both just good. I mean, Chris Paul, I think, might be a little better for the Spurs just because it helps Wemby a lot. It'll get Wemby some more confidence with, like, a better point guard, an actual point guard to give it to him. So Buddy Hield, I mean, he's good for the Warriors, but like at this point, you're starting to like think where the Warriors gonna go, because like you think of the best players on that team, you think Steph Curry and Buddy Hield. You're not really thinking about too many people. They drafted James Wiseman a few years ago. He ended up not being good. That didn't work out for them. Yeah, Draymond Green. He's getting ejected like every other game. It's just tough because Draymond's not really doing anything anymore. Clay's gone. You have like, you don't really have any other person but like Steph and Buddy. Jonathan Kuminga, maybe, but you don't got too many pieces. So the Warriors are definitely starting to get back in that kind of rebuild phase, I think, because it's just starting to go downhill a little bit slightly. So after that, though, we have the NFL. Chiefs and rival 49ers both named Fitz for free agent cornerback Stephon Gilmore. I wanted Washington to sign him because we need a good cornerback. But just adds to their defenses. 49ers, I think, have a better defense, so it would help them. But I don't think they need him terribly. Chiefs, honestly, their defense isn't terrible. I think their line's better. I think their defensive backs. With Snead gone, you need someone to fill in for that spot. Gilmore could work there. So I don't really think... I think the Chiefs probably need him more out of the two. So 49ers already have a really good defense. So I think the Chiefs would benefit them more. I think teams would benefit from that more than the Chiefs. But if these are like the top two fits, then Chiefs would need it more. Then lawsuit, NFL Sunday Ticket. I think some people have heard every team could have to end up owing $440 million on the Sunday Ticket lawsuits. That could be bad for a few teams just because where they're right now. Like Commanders just got bought. Our owner having to pay additional $440 million. Probably not good for the team. I mean, I don't know how financials go that much for the team, so I can't really tell how bad it is, but it's probably not good. So we'll see. I won't talk about that too much because I don't understand it too much, but I was just saying that would be interesting. Not interesting bad, but then we have the infamous u20 tackle football. USA is disappointing. USA is the capital of tackle football, and we're losing to Japan by 21 points and Austria by 7. How do we lose in our own sport we created in USA? I mean, I know you can't have the top high school players, you can't have the college players, but like, it's our sport. Like, this is our sport. It's like USA going into the Olympics, the males, and beating just like Argentina, like some South American countries, like more countries that played it longer and forever. It's like, it would be like us beating them there. Like, it doesn't really happen. We tied with England last time, but like, that was kind of a joke. That was just us, like, and we made fun of it because like, USA is not known for their soccer, really. The best player in the USA right now isn't even from the US. Messi, greatest of all time, not from USA. So we're not known for our soccer, but what we are known is for our pigskin. And now we are getting embarrassed by Japan and Austria. We can't even win a third place. We couldn't even win a bronze medal. I just think that's funny, but we're just losing in our own sport. Like, it's disappointing. It's funny at the end of it because it's not like... Because if you put the NFL players or even D1 college players against these guys, it's going to end up totally different. Like, it would end totally different just because they are actually good. Like, the U20 football players, they're not, like, good, obviously, but it's just funny to see we're losing in our own game that we it made famous. But on the other hand, USA U17 basketball team absolutely demolishing. We're going crazy. We've been winning by so much. 49 assists. One day you have insane scores. Let me see if I can find the scores real quick. We beat in U17 FIBA men's. We beat France 104-81. Papua New Guinea 124-49. China 146-62. Philippines 141-45. Canada 111-60. Like we're cooking in basketball. That's where we're actually cooking. And then we go against New Zealand tomorrow, which we should win probably because our scores have been crazy. We haven't had a single game under 100 points, and we're beating teams by crazy amounts. We almost beat the Philippines by 100. I know it's the Philippines, but like, why couldn't the football team just be like the basketball team? Why can't we do it? But yeah, U20, I mean, at the end of the day, they're not going to send the best high school players, college players, so it's not going to be crazy, but like, losing our own sport, I think, is just funny. But, circle back to the NBA just for a little bit. I wanted to talk about the Rockets. I have actually good hopes for the Rockets this year. I think we are going to just keep improving with our roster moves and our draft. Like, we're doing it right. We're drafting inside. I don't know if we're going to trade for Kevin Durant anymore. I don't think we need to, personally. I think he isn't going. He's going to go somewhere else, but I don't think he's going to the Rockets anymore, which I'm happy about because I like the idea of us drafting within and then building up because that's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing for the last few years after Harden left. Like, our like roster's really getting nasty. You got so from the players like we drafted recently, Jalen Green, Alfred Sengun, Amen Thompson, Ken Whitmore, Jashawn Tate, Jabari Smith, Reed Shepherd. You got so like we got like at least like 7 players that we drafted that are like kind of good, and then like some of the pieces around like Steven Adams. Once he's healthy and back, he's gonna be a good help for us. Dylan Brooks, I don't really like too much. Reggie Bullock, Terry Easton, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's one other person we drafted. Jeff Green, he's just like he's that veteran player you need. He was playing really good. AJ Griffin we just traded for. He's not bad. I mean, he hasn't really done much, but maybe he can start doing some. Nate Hinton, he's not done much, but like we got some players around that could probably help. Boban, that would be funny. Just put him out for a whole night, see what he can do. Never gonna happen, but like But yeah, like we got a good team. Our young players, they're gonna start getting really good really quickly. Like we're gonna be special pretty soon, especially with Sengun because Sengun is just so good. Jalen Green, if he can stay, like Jalen Green, he's not a bad player. He's just very inconsistent. He'd have games where he plays amazing with good stats, and then there's games he can play amazing with bad stats, and there's games he can play amazing or does not play good at all. He's after he got a kid, he started playing really efficiently, which was funny because you could joke that now that he has a kid, he's got to start playing like that. But like, he's playing statistically way better, and he's still scoring well. Sengun, he's just amazing. Amen Thompson, he's really good. He stays healthy. He'll be great for us. Reed Shepherd, he can probably take over for Fred VanVleet because Reed Shepherd, he's pretty good too. Looking at some of the stuff he's been doing, like we're getting so many good people. One, we're starting to get our shooting core kind of back. Reed Shepard would be good for shooting. Sengun's not a bad shooter. Amen Thompson's not bad. Jalen Green, he's not the worst. He's alright. So, like, one, we're starting to get a shooting core back. We're not going to be like we were a few years ago where it was like Harden, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon. Like, we're not going to have that level again because we would, like, hit at least, like, 15 threes every few nights, maybe even more than that. Like, we were hitting so many threes. Harden would hit, like, 6 alone. But we're starting to build up our roster so quick, and if we can keep them together, keep them healthy, it's going to get pretty dangerous pretty quickly because we're going to get so much chemistry from being, like, organically drafted within. Like I keep saying, I think those teams are better. They get a lot of chemistry. We'll be a playoff team in the next, like, year or two because we did really good this year. If we can just keep getting a little more wins, I mean, teams around are getting better too. But, like, because, like, what you're always going to have to worry about, like, the Wembys now, like, those type of players. Luka, you got to worry about him because he was torching us even for a few years, even when Harden was so he's been torching us. But you still got to worry about some players that, like, we're having players now that they're gonna have to start worrying about. Like Sengun, very soon you're gonna have to start worrying about him. Amen Thompson, he keeps on the track. Soon you're gonna have to start worrying about him. Like, we're gonna get good so quickly, and we just stay within our own team, add some pieces if we need one here or there. But, like, we're drafting really good players for each position that we might not even need to go to the outside for players for the inside. We got a few that, like, we picked up to help with that, like Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet. We got them last year. They helped us a lot. Like, I'm not saying they didn't contribute. They contributed a lot and helped us get a lot more wins. Well, not a lot more, like, more. It's you could say a lot more, but they helped a lot. But now that our younger players are starting to get older, starting to get more consistent, we won't need them too much. We won't really need them. Dylan Brooks, I'm guessing he won't be here past this contract. Fred VanVleet probably won't be here for too much. Won't be here after his contract, maybe like a year or two after. But, like, Amen Thompson taking over for Dylan Brooks' role no matter what. Sengun, Jabari Smith, like, okay, so you got, like, eventually in a year, few years not ago, in the future with, like, Fred VanVleet gone, Dylan Brooks gone, Reed Shepard at the point guard, Jalen Green shooting guard, Amen Thompson at the small forward, Jabari Smith power forward, Sengun center, like, or you can switch him, doesn't matter. That's a nasty team to play with. Like, like, our bench players won't be bad at all either. Like, Cam Whitmore won't be a bad bench player. He's already scoring like 12 a game. I mean, he could start over someone like Jabari Smith isn't bad either. Jabari Smith, I don't think, is what we want him to be yet. But if we pull up his stats, like 13 points a game, 8 rebounds, 1.6 assists, like, we don't have the tallest players, but, like, we've had okay seasons with PJ Tucker starting at center. And, like, Sengun, 6'11", too. Like, those two are 6'11", they're almost 7 foot. That's not bad. I mean, Sengun didn't even play bad after Wemby. Like, when he was going against Wemby, he didn't play terrible. Sengun scoring 21 points a game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 53.7 field goal percentage. Let's look at Jalen Green. So that's Jeff Green. Jalen Green, 19.6 points, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 42%. Like, he's starting to get back up there. He can be more consistent. That would be better. And then, Amen Thompson, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He's going to his second year. He'll start getting better. Like, our team, so young, but there's so much potential. The Rockets, in a year or two, will be a playoff team. They will be a playoff team, or at least playing. Maybe next year playing, and then next year after that, playoff team, which is how good our young players can be. I think the Rockets are probably one of the best young teams in the league. Because, yes, there's other teams that might have like the better. Like, I don't think our players, any of our young players, might like Wemby. He's a different type of player. He's a different type of animal. He's one of those players that makes a new kind of like generation in the league. Like Steph Curry, when he became like a really good three-point shooter, he took the league by storm. He changed the league. Wemby's one of those players that's going to change the league. So I don't think he's going to be different from us. But I think we are like, the Rockets are the best team with multiple young players with really high potential. Sengun, Thompson, Reed Shepherd, Green. He's not young, but he's not old yet, so he's still pretty young. He's getting his like percentage up. We're gonna be nasty. We're probably one of the best or the best. I don't know if the best young teams in the league, in my opinion. So, other than that, nothing more to say. Commanders, 7 wins. Too much stuff hasn't come out again about them recently. I don't know if we'll get Brandon Ayuk, unfortunately. I hope we could. It's just rough because it would be crazy to get Ayuk. It would be really cool. He would help us a lot. Wide receiver. We have a good wide receiver core. I've talked about it before. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Luke McCaffrey probably, because Luke McCaffrey's coming out really big. He's apparently one of the most exciting younger players, except for Jaden Daniels, of course. But him, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, like, I guess we don't need Brandon Ayuk. We really want him, but we don't, I guess, need him. It would be really cool to have him. We'd win, like, at least, like, he helped win 2 more games, at least. So, be cool to have him, but I just don't think it's going to happen after, like, they sent us a trade, we didn't take it, so it was probably one of those trades where it's one of those trades where it probably didn't benefit us other than getting Brandon Ayuk. It probably helped them a lot more. They probably wanted, like, Jahan Dotson, so maybe there's a chance we can get another wide receiver that's real good, not Brandon Ayuk level, because Brandon Ayuk is he's the number 1 wide receiver type. Maybe get another piece. I mean, I don't think we need it, but it would just be cool to have like another second, so we can have number 1 and number 2 receivers, and Luke McCaffrey can learn from them. But other than that, we don't need Ayuk, but it would be cool to have. But this has been an episode of JB Sports. Thank you guys for watching. Same schedule next week, Wrestling Wednesdays, and another episode on Friday. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great week, and bye. Weekend.